The AMX-50 Foch is a Tier 9 French tank destroyer. It's always been fast, reaching a top speed of 50 kilometers per hour with a power-to-weight ratio of 22.2. Not to mention it carries the exact same frontal hull armor, as you can see, as the Tier 10 Foch, 180 on the front, 75 on the sides, and 50 on the rear. So you have the same armor, same top speed, and basically same mobility as the Foch 155. How about the gun? Well, yeah, that's right, the gun has an extra 649 damage per minute over the AMX-50 Foch 155. The Tier 9 Foch is better in literally every regard to the Tier 10, especially after Wargaming and Update 8.7 gave it an extra 400 damage per minute. It did not need a buff. It was already a strong vehicle, and I had made previous videos talking about why it was a strong tank. So seeing this vehicle get the buff it did really didn't make sense. But here we go. We find ourselves on Middleburg. Now, Middleburg is a pretty nice map for at least mobile tanks, because if you can get up the hill quick enough and defeat the enemies at seaside, then you have a very, very good chance of winning the battlefield. But at the same time, you will also struggle if your team pushes towards A, and you're kind of left alone up top to be rushed and killed. Thankfully, I'm with a platoon mate, and that is not going to happen. So speed is key. What does the enemy team have? Well, they got an Object 84, T-54E1, and an AMX CDC for mobility. But you're going to notice they are also capturing Base B. There were people that were trying to argue with me on why you should push to Base B in Supremacy for Middleburg. And you're going to see why it's a terrible idea, because there's always sometimes a teammate that goes up top. And unless your entire team goes down, you're basically asking for a loss. You're going to watch what happens to these mediums. It's quite sad. So already, we've managed to dump off 400 hit points from that T-54E1. But, oh, there you go, another 400 hit points into that guy. That's now 800 hit points we've taken off the T-54. But, oh, there's another 400. That's 1,200 hit points we've taken off of that American Tier 9 medium. Yeah, that guy's probably not enjoying this company all too much, but now I'm going to use that good mobility and push up on the CDC. Nice HE shell for 579, and I'm also going to ram this vehicle a little bit. The Foch is quite heavy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot the 54, finish off the CDC with a ram, and yeah, I mean, you can clearly see why this tank is strong. We're already at 2,230 damage, and boop, beautiful shell into the Object 84, lighting him on fire as well. Lighting him on fire. So now we're going to get hopefully another shell into the object, but looks like it bounces off the angled part of his tank. Not really much I can say about there apart from a skill issue. I don't even know. It's just weird. Either way, another little love tap finishing off the enemy there. We got the AMX-50, finish him off. I mean, just driving this vehicle is literally a walk in the park. It takes no skill now. I mean, it's so incredibly strong. It is definitely better than the Tier 10 Foch. I mean, even in the Tier 10 Foch, I wouldn't have done this much damage, and I could not have pushed this aggressive. It's like a would not, could not, he didn't. It's like a Dr. Seuss book. But yeah, we're at 3,800 damage already, and all that's left is the Mil 1. So, hello, comrade. Let me turn my tank. Boom, easy shell into the rear. Wanted to ram him, but it didn't matter at this point. We're at 4,300 damage, and this was some of the easiest damage I've ever gotten out in a battle. So, obviously, you can see why the buff on the Foch wasn't necessarily needed, but hey, I can't complain. Pretty good battle. So let's do one more in the Foch. Now we're on Winter Mali. Now Winter Malinovka is fantastic if you are, again, in a mobile tank. Because if you can get aggressive enough over towards the seaside, then you can actually shoot the tanks as they cross. And, well, that's probably what you're going to see me do in this battle. So here we go. I'm about to use the immense speed and power that the Foch has. Again, 22.2 power to weight ratio. That's more comparable to medium tanks. In fact, about the same as an STB-1. So very quick. And when you add on that armor, especially in battles against Tier 8s, it's just broken. This tank against Tier 8s should not exist. It's 4,000 DPM. It's like an AT-15, but you actually have mobility and armor. It's so dumb. So what do we have up against us? We got some strong tanks. We got a Bat Chat and an E75. Unfortunately, they're both very bad players, which you're going to see in a moment. We got a Waffle, also a very bad player, although I do like the name, BBQ is life. But yeah, the enemy team doesn't do very well, and this tank really punishes teams that don't do well. Sadly, that first shell does not end up penetrating the enemy, but we got an HE shell for this Waffenträger. Well, actually, that wasn't an HE. That was just an AP. I was looking at HE, but I was like, nah, it's not worth it right now. Get a shell into that E75, take off a little bit from a fire, thank you. And now we're going to load an HE. Oh, he's not running Spall, the poor guy. Well, there's one shell into the waffle, and there you go, he's dead. I mean, that guy probably thought he could out-reload me. But guess what? You can't deal with it. Cope. So what do we have next? We got the Lerva and the 75, and oh, look at Batchat. Well, there was a Batchat, because he's dead now. Yeah, we're at 2,000 damage already. But look, more HE for everyone. HE to the side of the T-54 lightweight. Now we're at 2,600 damage. What's that been, like 30 seconds of shooting, and we're already at that much? It's insane. It really is insane. So we're at 3,000 now. I'll be honest, we don't get as much damage out now. I thought I could overmatch the track wheel on that E75, and we don't. And now I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to do? Well, I'm going to shoot the Lerva, obviously, but nope, bounces right off the upper plate. So, unfortunately, we bounced 2 shots, which would have catapulted us upwards of 4,000 damage already. But I decided that I might as well just go for the IS-3 defenders. Here we go, speed, and there's 2 shells into that tank already. I mean, I out-reload the intra-clip on the IS-3 defender. Just think about how busted saying that out loud is. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, 4,265 damage. And again, one of the easiest victories I've ever done in my life. I mean, this is just what the Foch can do. The AMX Foch is powerful. Its gun is great. I mean, these replays went by in literally 2 seconds. I have one more replay for you guys as well. This was an earlier one that I think I played on one of my original live streams. Here we are on Himmelsdorf. Now, Himmelsdorf is great for a couple reasons. It is very good for, again, mobility, because you can push your tank to the medium side and get away with a lot of things. So I'm going to push my tank over towards A, and we're going to see just exactly what we can do here. What do we have up against us? We got a T100 LT, Sheridan, Jagera Panzeroo, VK90, Sench 7-1, a Mil2, and a Waffenträger. So I'm just going to push on up. And one thing you'll notice about all of these replays is they are very, very quick. None of these games lasted a while. That's the craziest part about the Foch. So I'm going to get 1 shell into the side of the T100 LT. I'll be honest, the T100 LT is strong. 3,500 DPM, yeah, quite a deadly amount. But it's not 4,000. It is not even close to 4,000 DPM. Watch this poor guy just melt 1,200 hit points off of that player in literally like 10 seconds. It's stupid. There you go, nice shot into the Centurion. Oh no, we got hit. I mean, sure, I'm not doing the best on hit points in this situation, but we've already dealt 1,500 damage. I mean, it's just stupid how quickly this vehicle racks out the numbers. So, Sent running away, not really much I can do about his tank. So, I'm trying to think, well, what else can we do? Well, maybe we can snap a shell through the rails. Nah, can't do it. So, well, trying to think. Well, goodbye. Yeah, that was a beautiful snap. You can see the on-movement dispersion of this vehicle. It's actually quite good. It's not bad at all. So, because of that, we get a beautiful clear onto the enemy. And again, just driving on up. We're already at 1,700 damage. We got the Emil-2, Jagdpanzer. Can we get a shell into the Jag? Well, I'm going to drive over this LT so he doesn't block me. There you go. Nice tap for 418. I don't know what that Jag's doing. He wasn't even tracked. He was just stupid. But, oh well, he's dead. Now we got the Waffenträger, and, oh, you know what I'm going to do. Ooh, 340 damage ram. And there you go. Nice shell, and a little bit of a love tap again. Taken out. I mean, just look at this. It's so stupid. I definitely think that this vehicle is overpowered now. If you have at least a brain cell. Obviously, when I make all my reviews, I expect my viewers to have somewhat of a common sense or clue what they're doing. And yeah, when it comes to this vehicle, I mean, this was the easiest game ever. Again, 3,797 damage, and it was literally a walk in the park. I YOLO'd a tier 10 light tank, killed it, and then we pushed and kept pushing, and that was it. That's the Foch for you, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. Other than that, I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye!